Hey guys, it's Buckets Analyst here. Welcome back to another YouTube video. As always, this video will be posted on my Instagram and Twitter. Links are down below. If you guys are watching this video, you are obviously fans of the NBA and of basketball analysis. So if you do want more content like this, I post 2 or 3 times a week. And if you would like to stay up to date with everything on my Instagram and Twitter as well, be sure to follow on there at NBA Bucket Hoops on Twitter and at Buckets Analyst on Instagram, and make sure to subscribe after this video if you enjoyed for more content like this. Now to get into this video, obviously the title is The New Era of Small Ball in Houston. After the Rockets traded away Capella in order to gain a 6'7", 3-and-D wing in Robert Covington, there was a lot of debate and questions on how this would work and if this would work efficiently, especially come playoff time. Covington is now standing at 6'7", the tallest player on the Rockets roster. As you can see here, this is a list of the height and the players on the Rockets roster currently. And all this just sparks a whole new era for the Rockets in Houston. Post Capella trade, the Rockets announced that 6'5" PJ Tucker was going to be starting at their center position. And then there was a lot of hate and backlash from that, from the media, and memes and jokes made about the 6'5" center for Houston. Now, if I'm being honest, after watching about 4 or 5 games with the Rockets using the small ball system, they don't have a center at all. PJ Tucker's in the jump, Covington's been in the jump for the last 2 games, but they just don't have a center really. It's all a 5-out system that just spreads out the floor and opens up the paint, with Mike D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, who believes that it gives them the best chance at winning a title this year. And I personally agree. They weren't going to win a title with the system that they were in, and this is a very risky option. Obviously, this could either backlash very heavily, but it gives them a better chance at winning, but also a better chance at losing come playoff time. I've said this several times after these games that they have showcased to us, that this system just allows Westbrook to thrive and blossom as he attacks the wide open paint with his insane speed and athleticism. One of the most athletic and quick point guards in the league, in the history of the league almost, who, when Westbrook has the ball, drives in, he can find shooters with Harden, Covington, Tucker, Gordon, Rivers, House Jr., just all on the floor in a 5-out system, like I've said, where if the defense collapses, they can all shoot the lights out really, really efficiently. This also allows Harden to isolate in high 1v1 situations, because you can't double him anymore, because he's just going to drive it, or when he gets doubled, he's just going to kick it to an efficient shooter, with all those shooters that are just named that can all knock the ball down from 3-point range very efficiently, shooting, almost all of them shooting over 35%. Now obviously, if he was to kick it to Westbrook, not much of a high, shot selection, with Westbrook not a very great 3-point shooter, but Westbrook obviously has the ability with a wide open lane with no one on him after Harden has been doubled, who then has a wide open paint, and then if someone collapses on Westbrook or rotates to Westbrook, there's obviously another shooter wide open. So they're going to have 5 shooters, 4 shooters including plus Westbrook on the floor, which gives them just the best chance to score offensively, and gives them just an immense amount of threes that will be shot from behind the arc for the rest of the season. The interior defensive end is what worries me a lot. Obviously the Rockets can guard the perimeter very efficiently, especially now with Covington. They can guard the perimeter great, but the interior will be exposed, especially in the playoffs against guys like Jokic, Anthony Davis, Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gobert, Kristaps Porzingis. These are just guys that are only in the West, and it just gives them more of a chance offensively in the paint to work, especially with Kristaps, AD, just all paint players, all back to the basket kind of players on the block that have great post game. And with Jokic as well, he will dominate down there. If he gets doubled, Jokic is an amazing passer. The Nuggets have a great ball movement. They're going to kick the ball around. They're going to expose the Rockets very much on the defensive end. Now here I'll play a example of Russell Westbrook as he penetrates towards the basket as Hassan Whiteside collapses towards the paint. Then Westbrook dishes out to PJ Tucker, who is a 36.4% three-point shooter for the wide open three in the corner. Obviously, you just saw what PJ Tucker is going to do 9 times out of 10 wide open in the corner like that. Now, with Whiteside, his main role is to protect the paint, right? So he obviously doesn't prefer to defend on the perimeter, and it certainly isn't one of his strengths. So in this case, Westbrook acknowledges that and uses his explosiveness to beat his man and force Whiteside to rotate over. He then dishes it out to Tucker, like I said, for the wide open three in the corner. Instead of Capella, is a significant upgrade instead of having Capella there, who would be clogging up the paint. Now, even if Lillard on the right here ended up rotating to Tucker in time, he has a wide open Austin Rivers on the left wing, who is also a 33% shooter off the bench, who we all know Austin Rivers is going to hit that wide open three. Now, this is just one example that I've shown. This has obviously happened an insane amount of times. I'm not going to get heaps of clips, but this is what's going to happen over the remainder of the season, and hopefully we'll get to see this over the postseason in the playoffs and see how efficiently it works against big teams. Now, with this system, there will obviously be inconsistency and consistency while playing the small ball in the best league of basketball. The Rockets can seriously beat anybody in this league, but they can also lose to anybody while implementing this system. They risk being outscored every night in the paint, but their wins will mostly depend on making more of their outside shots, especially from the three-point range. That's definitely a chance that they're willing to take, especially with Mike D'Antoni as head coach. Houston is now built for playing small ball, and they are going to be betting on themselves and their shooting efficiency each night in order to succeed for at least the remainder of the season. It's a high risk that they are taking, but the Rockets assembled this roster for a reason, and they are prepared and excited for what the postseason has to hold if they can avoid tall dominant teams until the conference finals. Now, to end this video, I personally believe this is a great idea from the GM in Daryl Morey, and Mike D'Antoni obviously helped influence this idea, as we also saw in Golden State a few years back with Draymond Green playing the center, with their small ball system obviously worked out. But time will tell with one of the greatest offensive players of all time in Harden, and a great guy in Westbrook who will thrive, absolutely thrive in this system. Time will tell on how this system will work, and like I said, especially against big teams. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, follow the other Twitter and Instagram links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next NBA analysis video.